Hey, how's it going guys? I'm Ryus and welcome back to another deck showcase video. This week I'm going to show you my take on Amanozako. She's the only one that was saved from the last week's huge nerf, and this build will show you how she doesn't need to rely heavily on the standfast Shigami, because you can use other more interesting and cheaper Shigami. It's quite a simple deck, but you need to figure out the timing, because it's a bit different from your usual aggro deck. So let's jump into the deck rundown, shall we? After that huge nerf, I was thinking, how can I use Amanozako without actually taking advantage of the standfast Shigami? So what crossed my mind was Kosode no Te. But I also thought, am I really going to try and make that Karasu Mitsume deck again? Of course not. So I use Garuda to actually take care of the back row Shigami, while also making the deck capable of completely wiping all of your opponent's Shigami, while also dealing multi-attacks. And this deck is very cheap. The only SSR that you kind of need is Kosode no Te, Needle and Threads. That's about it. We use that to make it easier for us to get rid of tanky Shigami. That's it. If you don't want to use it, go ahead, use any other of our cards. Here is the card priority list. For the high priority, you definitely want Heavenly Wing in your starting hand, because it will make it easier for you to board wipe your opponent the earlier you can activate this card. Then we have Inseparable Threads is another good one, because this will allow you to chip away at the opponent's health and also the Shigami health. It's a seriously good card. Also, Burning Feather is amazing in this deck, because not only it has range when you first activate it, it also deals AoE damage once per turn. And the last one for the high priority is Shiver or Frighten 1. I would lean towards Shiver when they have a lot of back row Shigami, especially like Arakawa Shiki deck. If you face that, you definitely want Shiver instead of the Frighten 1. But the form is also not bad, because when you kill a Shigami with Fear, you will get a Shadowing Fear. That's a fast combat card that has first move if Amanozako has combat power. So it's a great card. For the situational choice, it's the usual targeting snipe cards. Threading basically deals a total of 6 damage. It's decent, but don't rely too much on it. Needle and Threads is fantastic when facing against Shigami that has high health. You can definitely use it on regular health Shigami, because this card basically deals 5 damage. Feather Trail is good stun card, but I only bring one because this deck focuses more on aggro. And for finisher, we have quite the selection. We got Karasu Tengu Evolve, of course. This will let your Karasu Tengu deal a huge amount of damage, basically firing off 3 damage projectile every time he sneezes. Kosode no Te Evolve will also boost her annoying passive even more. And we also have Amanozako Dissection and Spreading Fear. This combo guarantees a 4 damage AoE, and if you're playing this deck correctly, that should pretty much wipe all of your opponent's Shigami. And that's about it for the deck rundown. It's a really flexible deck that has tons of ways to get out of trouble. So if you are in a pinch, try not to rush and think for a sec. You might get out of that pinch easier than you think. But for now, let's move on with the replays. Our first match is up against a Luminary 2 player that's using a slightly modified Shiki deck. It's still going to be very annoying because they are also bringing Ichimokuren, so they got a backup plan in case their Shiki fails to set up. But do not worry, because with this deck, any back row Shigami is not safe from our assault. We get the second turn this time. With this deck, we don't really care if we are going first or second, because we can comfortably move either way. If you have Garuda level 1 form in hand, he will always be the first level up, so that he can spread his valuable feathers on the opponent's Shigami. On their turn, I am shocked that they would actually use their Shiki to actually attack. But that also means that they don't have her evolved yet, and they probably have Arakawa SSR instead. Well, since we top deck our Wind Chase, we use that, then we activate Feather Blade on their Awano. After that, we assault with Garuda, that will kill their Shiki, and we get a direct hit. After that, we'll just hit them with Amanozako. This way, if they do try to attack, at least their Shigami will be below 4 health. Of course, they will not risk it and just pass. The key to winning a match against Shiki deck is intimidation. On our turn, we will finally put inseparable threads on Kosodenote. Look at this gorgeous alternative art. And after that, we'll just use needle and threads on Ichimukuren so that they will not have a blocker and pass. On their turn, they will finally reach level 2, and as we predicted, they will put Arakawa's SSR. Then they will activate a lantern support. After that, they will snipe our Garuda. Then they will actually use Arakawa to attack, dealing 5 damage to us, and pass. They are getting desperate. On our turn, we just happen to have the perfect answer for this situation. We activate the Frightened one by putting a fear on their Ichimukuren, then activate Wings of Fear. That will kill their Ichimukuren, and we got a Shadowing Fear. We use that to take out their Arakawa, then use our last Wind Chase to move back our Amanozako to safety, and if we push them a bit more, I think they would just surrender at this point. On their turn, they will put Fire of Tails on Awandon, then activate Lantern Tails so that they can use Ghost Stories to get 2 cards and pass, leaving the combat zone empty. Very bold move. And thanks to them leaving the combat zone empty, we can just assault with Amanozako, then activate another Wings of Fear before activating our Blade of Justice. That combo combined with Kosodenote passive will completely erase 18 points of their health. Our second match is up against a new luck check deck featuring the new YamaZashiki. That name is a bit too long, so I'm just going to call them YamaZashiki for now. If you guys have any better names, let me know. Against a luck deck, I don't really have much strategy other than we have to try and get rid of their Yoko if he puts on the level 2 form. We get the first turn this time. If we are going first and have at least 1 card of Amanozako, we should level her up first to build up the Wings of Fear. Kosodenote should be your last level up because she starts getting good at level 2. On their turn, they will just attack with Komatsumaru, then put the level 1 form on her. If it was against any other deck, she would have survived next turn. But they are facing against us. We activate Shiver on their Komatsumaru, then activate 1 Wings of Fear, and then we attack to take out their Komatsumaru. On their turn, they will actually snipe our Amanozako with Revelation, then they actually use YamaZashiki to attack. That is very surprising, but that also tells me they prioritize their Joruri or Yoko more than them. On our turn, we'll just move Karasu Tengu so that we have a blocker and pass. On their turn, they will activate Key Focus to power up Yoko's projectile. That will hit Garuda. After that, they will assault with Joruri and use their last Revelation to snipe our Garuda. Alright, that was a good move, I have to admit. On our turn, we finally reach level 2, and we only have Kosodenote, so we put inseparable threads on her, then needle and threads on their Komatsumaru because losing a blocker in a luck deck is pretty much a death sentence. On their turn, as we predicted, they will put the level 2 form on Yoko, then activate Pinecone Handling. They will land the luck check and get the draw. After that, they will assault once again with Joruri and pass. This is kind of bad for us because we don't really have much options. So for now, we just activate Wings of Fear, then assault to take out their Joruri with Amanozako and pass. On their turn, they will use Lactose on our Kosodinote. She will turn into a paperman and they will kill her. And of course, they will also take out our Amanozako with Yoko's Windblade. We took extra 3 damage from his skill too because he landed a luck check. This is starting to hurt quite a bit. On our turn, we use Feather Blade on their Yoko, then activate Burning Feather to deal 1 damage AoE and 2 damage to their face. Then we use Feather Trail to drag Yoko to the combat zone. And we finally assault with our Garuda. That will force Karasutengu to move back. The projectile from him will kill their Yoko, clearing the way for our Garuda. We used quite a lot of cards, but at least we took out 2 of their Shigami. On their turn, they will kill their own Komatsumaru for some reason and pass. On our turn, it's our double level up turn, so we evolve Karasutengu, then activate Wind Chase. After that, we assault with Garuda so that we can deal a total of 8 damage and pass. On their turn, they will assault with Joruri, killing our Garuda, then put her level 2 countdown form and pass. I think it's a bit too late for that form, but oh well. So on our turn, the best move was actually using the form instead of the evolve. But in this situation, the evolve still works fine. We then activate Threading to deal a 2 random damage and pass. On their turn, they will activate Pinecone Handling, drawing a card, and that revives Komatsumaru. After that, they put that very annoying 0 attack debuff form, and they pulled out a Yoko SSR. That will kill our Kosodenote, but they didn't land the luck check, so their Joruri will not attack, leaving their combat zone empty. And you know what happens if you leave your combat zone empty. This will be their last turn. We activate Dissection, then Spreading Fear. That will power up our Amanozako to 8 attack. And thankfully, we landed luck check. So that will pass, and on top of it, we activate Blade of Justice to completely kill them. And with that, you have reached the end of the video. I sincerely hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any deck requests or suggestions, let me know down in the comments. And if you want to support me, I have Patreon and Ko-Fi links down below. And do not forget to join the Onmyoji Discord because we got some awesome and helpful people in there. That's it from me. See you on the next video or livestream. Bye!